Um, in addition, just last September, I co-published this book with Abbas Lang. This is a very weighty book, Accessory to War, the Unspoken Alliance Between Astrophysics and the Military. And it goes way back, the role that people who had facility with the skies, what role they played in the conquering of countries and hegemony and the influence that took place. If you knew the sky, you knew how to navigate. If you know how to navigate, you know where stuff is, you can return to it, you can map it out, decide what you're going to do with it, if you have militaristic motives. So it goes way back. This is almost 600 pages. So I just want to alert you. Almost everyone knows a war buff, and this would be just that kind of thing for them. But just to be clear, these are very different books from each other. Okay? Wow. That's if you're in a hurry, but not in a hurry, right? Let's just make that clear. Now, have you been following the story with the NBA in China and LeBron James? So if you haven't, there was the owner or the manager of the Houston Rockets tweeted something in solidarity with the protesters in Hong Kong. You may remember that Hong Kong was turned back to China. It had this weird state of existence. Was it owned by the UK, but not really? It had independence. It was very capitalistic place, very different from the rest of China. It was like a 99-year lease. It was given back to China. And China is slowly influencing the identity of Hong Kong as a free market capitalist center. I say this, and then LeBron said something. LeBron is a famous, perhaps the most famous basketball player today. He said, well, actually, I'm paraphrasing, China might have a point, okay? Or China, maybe we need to, it's more nuanced than, and so he was kind of siding with China. Meanwhile, China loves the NBA. And the Houston Rockets, in fact, one of their star players was Chinese for many years. Who was he? Yao Ming. He was like 9 feet tall, right? Yeah. I don't know where they grew him. In the backwoods of China, but he came to the NBA. So the reason why I'm saying this is there's a letter I wrote a few months ago, which if this book were a year later, if the letters book were a year later, it'd be in the letters book. So it's relevant only now because China's in the news for that reason, and it relates to this book. So, if a book is expected to do well, it's offered to other countries where they might be interested in translating it. So, this book was translated into many languages. Then, it was offered to China. And the way it works is, your publisher has representatives or publishers reps, and they partner with regional publishers. It gets translated by a team of people, gets turned into the next language, and then gets sold. Okay. So, I'm going to show you email exchanges. So these are not polished for publication. This is raw email exchanges that I just want to show you. Okay, so here it is. This is an email forwarded to me from this woman named Betsy, who's my literary agent. Okay? Sorry. This is a letter from Nicola to my literary agent. My literary agent forwards it to me for my reaction. I wanted to pass on the below, it's down here, from our Chinese sub-agent. We have interest from a publisher in licensing Chinese rights to Accessory to War. But as you know, all titles published in China are subject to review by the state.
Oh no.
Before we move forward, we want to see if the below cuts would be acceptable to the author, as they deem them particularly sensitive. Unfortunately, without the cuts, we are not optimistic about being able to place these rights. And this is the subsidiary rights manager for W.W. Norton, publisher of this book. So this lands in my lap. and I try to be, I try to play the middle ground with my co-author, who is adamant, and you'll see in a moment. I'm saying she doesn't want to cut. There's like 15 cuts that they want to put in, okay? And I say, so what if they cut it? The rest of the book gets into China, and there's 1 billion people in China. They'll see the rest of the book. Isn't that worth something? Just intellectually, if not financially. So this is the conversation. So then it basically unfolds. Here it is. Neil, I cannot agree to so many cuts. Takes the guts out of the discussion of China. Then I'm trying to say, well, maybe, half the stuff you own is from China. Why are you going to put it in? I said, one solution might be to make the book jacket say abridged. I'd accept that if the abridged is prominent on the cover. I said, I don't want to strong arm you here. I said, half of everything we own is in China, so why take a stance differently here? You're not quite hearing me. Letters that begin that way never end well. A clear statement that is translation abridged will mollify me. My actions are simply selective impressions rather than personal judgments about the word. So then I said, okay. I spoke with my wife, who has a PhD in mathematical physics. And I said, what do you think? She said, Neil, these are not abridgments. This wouldn't be an abridged version, it would be an expurgated version. And I said, oh, you're right. Oh my gosh. Oh. So there I was exploring all the arguments, and I came back to Betsy with this. Upon careful review of what is proposed here, the changes would not constitute an abridged, but an expurgated version of the book. That the censorship would reach this level in a book that is about a much larger subject measures the depth of the constrained freedoms imposed on the Chinese citizenry. Since the Chinese publisher will not likely put the word expurgated on the book cover, we decline this offer in silent protest. There is no Chinese version of this book, and this is the back dialogue that's going on behind these decisions. So this might have made it into the book, because this happened when it was in January, but the book was already in print by then. So anyhow, so some people, so how old are you? You're 9! 9! And I'm guessing you're into the universe, right? Yeah, just come stand here and show everybody your dress.
Aww.
Okay? Just stand here and turn around. Can everybody see? Look at that. You can't see, but look. Put your arms up.
Put your starry night.
On the possibility that a 9-year-old doesn't know what these two words mean, I will put them here for you. So, abridge, to shorten without losing sense of the original content, abridged. Expurgate, to remove matter thought to be objectionable. Two very different motivations for shortening a book. So they have 2 vocabulary words for the SATs. You've been taking them 5 years. Yeah. Okay, so now we begin the book talk. Why did that happen? I want to bask in color. Where is it? There. Why is that doing that? I didn't make that happen. It's like, there. Okay. So, what this is so this is the entire table of contents of the book. Okay? It's in 4 sections: ethos, cosmos, pathos, kairos. And I'm really just showing off that I know 4 Greek words there, okay? Ethos, the characteristic spirit of a culture manifested in its beliefs and aspirations. Cosmos, the universe seen as a well-ordered whole. Pathos, a plaintive appeal to emotions that already reside within us. Kairos, a propitious moment for decision or action. There are 12 chapters within, grouped according to the commonality of themes that were revealed in letters that I have received over the past 30 years. There's a 10-year period where my email was findable. Wasn't up front, you had to click a few times, but you could find it. And I would say I've replied to about 1,000 emails over the